Baby, let me tell you something. When you get to my age, you learn that grief don't come all at once. It comes in pieces. Quiet mornings, lonely nights, empty chairs. And sometimes it don't even hurt loud. It just settles like dust on the things you can't bear to touch. That's what happened after my Earl passed. The world didn't stop, it just lost its sound. Every day after the funeral, I went through the motions. Made my coffee, watered my plants, said good morning to the same old picture on the dresser. But that house felt too big for one person. Every corner whispered his name. His slippers by the bed, his mug on the counter. I couldn't move him, not yet. People told me to move on. Baby, you don't move on from love like that. You learn to walk beside it. One afternoon, the wind was howling something fierce, and the power went out. I lit a candle and wandered up to the attic. Now, I hadn't been up there in years. Too many memories stacked up in dusty boxes. But that day something called me. I pulled down that old ladder. It creaked like it remembered him too. The air was thick with cedar and thyme. I moved a few boxes. Christmas decorations, Shonda's baby clothes, and a stack of Earl's old fishing gear. Then I saw a small shoebox tied with twine, tucked behind a trunk. My name was written on top in his hand. Della. My knees went weak. I sat right down on that wooden floor, heart racing. Inside were letters. Dozens of them. The paper yellowed, edges soft. Ink faded but familiar. The first one started. My sweet Della, I miss you more than coffee misses the morning. I laughed through tears. Lord, that man was never a poet, but he sure tried. He wrote about the railroad job that took him far from home, about how the sound of the train reminded him of my laugh. He wrote about dreams we hadn't lived yet, about the porch swing he promised to fix, and never did. I could hear his voice in every word. Then, about halfway through, I found a few that weren't to me. My hands shook. The name on those letters was Lorraine. I stared at that name for a long minute. Jealousy's a strange thing, sugar. Even old hearts can feel it. But I kept reading. Turns out, Lorraine was someone from before me. His first heartbreak, not his secret love. He wrote her kind letters, young and hopeful, but the last one said, I met someone who makes the world quiet. Her name is Della. I pressed that letter to my chest and sobbed. Not because I was hurt, but because I finally saw him whole. Before me. After me. Every version of him, trying to love the best he could. I sat there for hours reading them all. His hopes, his apologies, his ordinary confessions. Some letters were from our first years together. Him writing to me while I was staying with my mama when Shonda was born. He wrote, I'm scared of being a father, but if she's anything like you, I'll be just fine. I could almost feel his hand on my shoulder again. Smell the aftershave he used to wear. It was like he'd been waiting up there for me to find him one last time. Now baby, let me tell you something about getting older. People think we just sit around talking about the past, but really we're learning to live with ghosts, gentle ones. You don't outgrow love. You just learn how to carry it without it breaking your back. For weeks after Finn did those letters, I kept that box by my bed. Every night I'd open one, read a page, and talk back to him like he was right there. I'd say, you still owe me that porch swing, or, you were wrong about them tomatoes, they grow better in the shade. It made the nights softer. But I also learned something important. You can't live in the attic forever. You can visit your memories, but don't unpack your bags there. After grief, you gotta come back down, back into the sunlight, even if it feels like starting over. So I decided to write my own letter, one to Earl. I said, thank you for loving me in your imperfect way. Thank you for leaving me words to find when I forgot how to breathe. And thank you for reminding me that life don't end with goodbye. It just changes rooms. I placed that letter on top of the box, tied it back up, and set it on the shelf near the window. Every time the sun hits it, I swear it glows just a little. Now, sugar, if you ever lose someone you love, don't rush your healing. Don't let anybody tell you it's time to move on. Open the box when you're ready. Cry when it hurts. Laugh when you remember. And when you can, start writing again. Because love don't stop at death. It just finds new ways to speak. I still sleep on my side of the bed now, but sometimes I wake up, turn over and whisper, "Good mornin', Earl." And somewhere I believe he still hears me. Because love like that, well, it don't fade. Just echoes quieter.